Okay, I will just add this recording to yesterday's discussion. So before zero was invented, one of the system which was prevalent was the Babylonians, and they had a base 60 system. And that may explain, when we look at our watches, clocks, you see the 60, and there's a lot of patterns and all where the either combination of 60 degrees or things like those exist. So there were other systems also like Mayan and others. What all these people, different mathematicians or scientific world was doing at that time was they were avoiding zero, means 10, 20s and all that. But in their counting, at that time, you can imagine like you're counting your sheep, you're counting your goats or the cattle or grain. That used to be the main transaction mechanism those days. But so they had a symbol. So it will go 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of, but there was no 10. So they were using shell. So that's what at that time they were using. So they would use, because there was nothing as a placeholder in the algorithm. So then they would say, okay, what to do? They were just using a kind of a chevron to represent the 10. And this is the most effective at that time, or that era, you can say. So there was no effective arithmetic system, but this was kind of one solution which was really effective in the sense that without this, to some extent. So they had this chevron and 10, and then they will put 2 for 20, and then they will go 30, 40, 50, that kind of thing. And you can see in their symbol that what they are using is not just for that symbol, but also the number also, if you really see, like if you see that between 1 and 11, you will see the chevron. So the symbol between 1 and 11, the only difference is there is a chevron before the symbol of 1, so it becomes 11. Then there are 2 chevron symbols before the symbol of 1. It becomes 21, and then 31, 41, 51, like that. So that's how they were kind of getting away with that need. So the calculation of say square root, under root, pi, all those kind of detailed calculation, yes, it improved everything when Aryabhat invented kind of zero, which was 5th century. And this was one of the things that was prevalent at that time, or before that time rather, that somehow people were getting around the need. So yes, the moment zero was discovered, it was a game changer. But before that, obviously, people were having something. Now, another thing, if you see the Indian text, right, you will see the unit of measure as yojan. You may have heard in shlokas also so many yojan, or dhanusha. So at that time, it was considered dhanusha is equivalent to a man's height, or yojan is, they explained, okay, 1 yojan means so much. And then they would say in terms of yojan that, okay, so many yojan. So that made those kind of things. And they were calculating the distance between even Earth and the sun. And then they will say so many yojan or so many this and that. So, which in today's world, scientifically, we see that how accurate that is or how precise that calculation was. So there were different unit systems in different civilizations, which the way they explained was really remarkable, considering at that time. Considering means today we think that, we have advanced science knowledge and everything, but actually they were much ahead of us in many different ways. So this is in addition to yesterday's discussion, what we had.